Bitcoin, but crypto. What's the second button? There is no second pass.
Good morning, Crypto Chaos. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another day. Same shit, different day. Get up and, yeah. Let's get this day started. Yeah, thank you, Bill. Yeah, we needed that. Thank you. All right. How's it going, guys? Happy joy this morning. Happy doing this morning, joy. Good morning, all. Good morning, G-Dog in the house. Good morning, Go Time. Good morning, Booger Glider. John Doe in the house. Board of Peace this morning. Yes, the Board of Peace is supposed to be this morning, but don't see any news around it. Like they're supposed to be meeting up at 9 o'clock. It's almost 9:30 now. Is it a closed door meeting, or we're not going to get any coverage? I'm assuming that's how this is going to go. Ben Lawrence says, "Good morning, guys. Working and listening in today. Hope you have a great day today, guys. You too, Ben. Easy here, passing out coffee. Let's go. Let's get the coffee passed around. It's time, guys. It's time. All right." Ben, hope you guys have a great day. All right, let's get started. Bitcoin, of course, last night going into our baseline bear. What else? Anything new? Anything? Tired of winning.
You win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
Yes, so tired of winning.
Please, too much winning.
Okay, hopefully everyone's awake now. I know I am, after I play the third clip in a row. All right, let's see what else is going on in the headlines, shall we? If you guys are a first time here, I welcome you, of course, to the craziest crypto show on YouTube, the most chaotic, of course, Crypto Chaos. And I am the Crypto Otaku, your host. I'm bringing you the latest and greatest news as it happens, both day and night. All right. So, yeah, Bloomberg right now is just talking about Walmart. Walmart's on a little bit of a downward spiral this morning, I guess. I don't know. It looks like it's starting to come up a little bit now, but they're talking about Walmart this morning. I'm not really surprised, to be honest. They just started trading like a tech stock, right? Like that last year when they got listed on the Nasdaq. So it is what it is. All right. Anything else going on? We should probably take a look at. I guess we can dive into the whole Trump Board of Peace meeting, right? Let's start there. The Board of Peace. All right. So President Donald Trump is convening with representatives from more than 40 countries that have joined his Board of Peace, and over a dozen of which have not have opted not to for an inaugural meeting that will focus on a reconstruction and building of the international stabilization force for a war-battered Gaza, where a shaky ceasefire deal persists. Trump announced ahead of the meeting that the board members had pledged $5 billion for reconstruction, a fraction of the estimated $70 billion needed to rebuild the Palestinian territory. Members are also expected to unveil commitments of thousands of personnel to international stabilization and police forces for the territory. Trump's ballooning ambitions for the board have triggered fears that the U.S. president is looking to create a rival to the United Nations, but they could be tempted by tempered by the realities of dealing with Gaza. So there has so far been limited progress in achieving the narrower aims of the ceasefire. This is coming from apnews.com. And yeah, this will have their first meeting today. Again, I was looking around the news outlets, so they started this at 9 o'clock Eastern, and it's already 9:30, 5 minutes till. So I couldn't find any news as to what's going on right now. I'm assuming it's all behind closed doors. All right, so that's what's going on right now with the Board of Peace. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe, says John Doe in the chat. Let's go. Thank you. I always forget the shill. Shill harder. Yes, I need to shill harder. I gotta unpack my suitcase so I can find my freaking floppy. It's here somewhere. All right. Let's get back to it. Anything else going on in the headlines today? Doomberg talking about anything? They're still talking about Walmart. Are they really? They're on break probably right now. Yeah, they're on break. Let's take a look at CNBC. Are they doing anything this morning on the pre-market? They're on break as well. And let's take a look at some of the headlines today. We do have a crypto headline, believe it or not. It's not a great one. I guess we can start there. Get her out of the way. Senator Warren tells Fed and Treasury no bailout for crypto billionaires. No bailout for crypto billionaires. Okay. All right, here we go. This is going to be about the Trump family, I'm sure, and his cronies, according to Elizabeth Warren. Senator Elizabeth Warren urged the Treasury Department and the Federal Reserve not to use taxpayer dollars to bail out cryptocurrency billionaires and other highly leveraged cryptocurrency investors. The Massachusetts Democrats wrote to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and the Fed Chair Jerome Powell as Bitcoin continued to slide. That has been seen the popular cryptocurrency lose about half of its value since hitting its high in October. Her letter came on the same day that Trump co-founded the crypto company World Liberty Financial, of course, hosting the meeting yesterday. Great timing for her to say something, right? It's all political nonsense. Yes, of course. All right. Of course, his President's Mar-a-Lago club meeting yesterday from business leaders across the entire financial sector. If you guys missed that yesterday, he had a couple really good interviews from Brian Armstrong and Eric Trump. Senator Elizabeth Warren asked the Treasury Department and the Federal Reserve on Wednesday to confirm he will not use taxpayer dollars to bail out cryptocurrency billionaires and other highly leveraged cryptocurrency investors. The Massachusetts Democrats requested the Treasury Company to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Fed Chair Jerome Powell came as Bitcoin continued to slide as is seen into popular cryptocurrency down 50% since hitting a high in October. It's pretty much all the same stuff we covered in the little drop down there. Anything else to take away from this? I guess there's some direct quotes from her. There's some quotes. Okay, so the transaction was made to repay. Let's see. Let's get back to the World Liberty Financial. She wrote that Trump's crypto company, World Liberty Financial, has sold around 173 wrapped Bitcoin. This transaction was made to repay the 11.75 million in USD stablecoin debt, therefore avoiding liquidation as Bitcoin's price dropped below 63,000. She wrote, during the sell-off, crypto billionaires have taken massive hits as Bitcoin's value continues to plummet. Crypto billionaire Michael Saylor's strategy, Incorporated, one of the largest corporate holders of Bitcoin, has reportedly seen its shares fall nearly 20% since the beginning of the year, Warren wrote. Other major crypto investors have also seen losses, including Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, of course CZ, who has reportedly lost 30 billion, and Coinbase's Brian Armstrong, who reportedly lost 77 billion. Jesus, CZ's down $30 billion. Holy crap. Elsewhere in the letter, Warren said that the federal financial agencies must strengthen protections for retail crypto investors. She noted that 2025 is a record 17 billion that was lost or stolen in crypto fraud. Oh my gosh, it's all covered in fraud. Maybe some bad actors and some too much gambling in crypto, but fraud, really? All right, moving on. So that's the only thing we have related to crypto as of this morning. In the CNBC headlines, we actually got something though. I'm sorry you guys are woken up to such a ugly mug this morning. I apologize. Anyway, anything else going on? Of course, everyone's talking about Walmart this morning. Pre-market is right now. We got about a minute until the opening bell. Any other takeaways here in the headline? Small furniture retailers face existential wow, I can't speak. I need some more coffee. Wow, I'm done. I'm just over it. All right. New U.S. renews threat to quit the International Energy Agency over the net zero agenda. Why New Balance dad shoes are beating Nike. New Balance, really. Trump order pushes glyphosate production Roundup chemical hated by Maha, make America healthy again. It's going to get some pushback by RFK Jr. there. Russia's Putin slams U.S. oil blockade on Cuba. We do not accept anything like this. So I guess we could take a look at that. We only have about 30 seconds to go, though, so I probably should get over there right about now. All right, guys, let's get into the opening bell. Let's go. And then, of course, check on crypto sentiment after the bell rings. Should be happening in maybe that's 40 seconds. Any second now. Let's take a look with you guys in the chat. How's it going? Good morning, Otaku and family. Derek in the house. Good morning, Derek. And Gigi. Grand Rising, everyone. Yes. Good morning, Gigi in the house as well. All right. Any second now, we're going to ring that bell and figure out what's going to happen today. Here we go.
And let's kick off your trading day. This is Bloomberg Open Interest. I'm Danny Berger. Matt Miller
Still no
is
Matt.
Here we are at the open. Futures down about 1/3%. NASDAQ also down 0.5%. Some people pointing to the volatility in oil markets maybe weighing us down. Uncertainty between the U.S. and Iran capping 4 straight days of gains. The bell ringers this morning at the New York Stock Exchange Centris. These shares have almost doubled so far this year. They're an uranium enrichment company. They're expanding in Ohio and probably feeling pretty great. Also feeling probably pretty great because they're on a sugar high of all the soda that they've just drinking is the MLB and Pepsi because, guys, huge news. Baja Blast is the new official soda of the MLB and ends a 6-year drought where the MLB had no soda.
No more Taco Bell?
Travesty. So yeah, Baja Blast. Take that what if you will. Holding it up, feeling good, official drink of the MLB. Anyway, let's look at things that matter. It is the moves this morning. Look at what Walmart's doing. This is a stock that had declined pretty rapidly after it came out with earnings in the pre-market. It has turned things around, up 2.4%.
Yeah, looks like it's definitely coming back.
For its outlook, but we're just talking with Sucharita Kodalia Forrester, who said these earnings are really good. Others pointing to the idea that they're always conservative to start the year. Then there's Deere, another set of really strong earnings, up 7.7%. The profit outlook topped estimates. Executives say that 2026 is the bottom of the agriculture economic cycle.
All right, who do we have this morning?
Those shares also up a nice bit, up 1.
Let's go. Under
1%. Solid sales outlook, and that helped ease fears that there would be AI disruption for the software company. Now, for this overall market, we've seen a lot of divergences. Goldman Sachs saying that large cap active mutual funds are outperforming their benchmark in 2026 by the highest margin since 2007 as investors look beyond big tech. Charles Schwab chief investment strategist Liz Ann Saunders notes something similar, that over the past year, only 21% of stocks within the S&P 500 have beaten the index itself.
Oh, wow.
Over the past month, it's 62%. And Liz Ann joins me now.
Holy crap.
Liz Ann, is this just evidence that you can't just buy the index and chill, that you have to be more choosy right now?
Yeah, I think it is evidence of that. And, you know, we've had the view that you want to sort of shift away from monolithic investment decision making, which in years like 2024 and even at the start of 2025 made sense, particularly cohorts like the Mag 7. That's no longer the case. And there is more connectivity to actual fundamentals, the direction of travel in terms of forward earnings estimates, and that's provided a lift to other segments of the market, leadership areas like energy and industrials and materials. It also helps to explain why non-U.S. is outperforming, because embedded in their economies are more of those traditional.
We'll give her a couple minutes. There's a pretty good
sector drivers as we
Zoom
see
on the screen there.
diversification away from just mega cap tech, and I think that has legs this year.
I was going to say the reason that in the past it worked to buy the index is because of how exposed it was to the Mag 7, to mega cap tech. It's also embedded in this idea that there is more dispersion, one in which the mega cap stocks, the tech stocks, just won't do for you what they used to, that it's no longer a world in which if you want to outperform the index, you have to be overexposed to that sector.
Yeah, I mean, even last year, and this is I find a phenomenon that is often the case within the retail investing community, is conflating the notion of contribution to return and performance rank. As an example of that, NVIDIA, the best performer last year among the Magnificent Seven, and it was the #1 contributor to S&P gains, but it was the 75th best performing stock within the S&P. So there's actually been plenty of other areas and names where you did well from a performance standpoint. The contribution rank being much higher comes by virtue of the multiplier of the cap size. So as a retail investor, you're not benchmarked on a quarterly basis to the cap-weighted S&P 500, and I think it's being brought more into the light that there's more fish in the sea.
All right, we're going to give her one more question.
Small list of names.
Those fish in the sea, though, are jumping a lot, if you can forgive me for really torturing your metaphor, Liz Ann. I was looking at this statistic coming from Scott Rubner at Citadel, saying that over the past 30 days, the S&P is down 1.4%, but the average stock in that index has had an absolute move of 10%. If you're going to be a stock picker, how do you handle that single name volatility right now, Liz Ann?
All right.
Well,
all right.
I think there are ways to do it in a somewhat.
All right, we're gonna head over to CNBC and see what we have going over here. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Another day. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Looks like, Kramer's talking about Boeing. Terrific. Stocks are lower. Everyone's looking at, the war possibly coming with Iran. War in the Middle East returning to, of course, the headlines. Stocks are lower. I think they're moving back.
Get that mind share.
Then you can have more political influence. I see. Now I get you. Takes me a while.
Damn, Nasdaq's trying for its first positive week in 6 weeks.
It was a big blow to the city.
Well, nice Times piece yesterday about Meta, not about the trial in LA, but about their efforts to invest, I guess, in the midterms.
Yes.
Probably by the most, and really, since the 20 years they've been around.
It's about time. I mean, I think these companies, they're playing with fire. It was a big piece in the FT about how all over the world they're...
All right. I'm over it. Let's get back to it. Some of the headlines today. We do still have a Russian one to go through. Terrific. We'll get back to Doomberg and CNBC later. Russia's Putin slams U.S. oil blockade on Cuba. We do not accept anything like this. And the peace talks are happening right now. The Board of Peace, the first Board of Peace. I'm assuming it's all behind closed doors because we haven't seen any headlines or anything else coming out yet. It started about 36 minutes ago. All right, let's see what's going on with Putin. All right. Russian President Vladimir Putin has sharply criticized Trump's administration's fuel blockade on Cuba, saying that Moscow considers the latest restrictions unacceptable. His comments come as the island, a nation, grapples with a worsening economic crises, one of which has been compared to the biggest test since collapse of the Soviet Union. This is a special period. The new sanctions, you know that we are feeling about this. We do not accept anything like this, Putin said on Wednesday during a meeting on Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez Palaria. Jesus, the hell of a name. According to the Russian news agency on TASS, Russia has been allied with Cuba for decades. This is recently described as Havana's fuel situation as truly critical, and said that actively discussing this will help provide to the country. As discussing what help it can provide to the country. Jeez. We have also been on Cuba's side since the struggle for independence, for the right to follow its own path for development. We have always supported Cuban people, Putin said. We know how difficult these past decades have been for the Cuban people as they fought through the right to live their own lives by their own rules and defend their national interests. The U.S. has effectively cut Cuba off from Venezuela oil since launching the extraordinary military operation to dispose Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on January 3rd. Cuba said that 32 of its citizens were killed in the attack. U.S. President Donald Trump has since pledged to impose tariffs on any country that supplies Havana with oil and labeled it as its government as an unusual and extraordinary threat. Cuba's dwindling oil supplies prompted the United Nations to warn of a possible humanitarian collapse earlier this month. So there's a lot going on over there in the Caribbean. Cuba's government, which has condemned the U.S. pressure for recent adopted measures to protect essential services and ration fuel supplies for the key sectors. It is also suspected to be an annual cigar festival. Okay, they have this annual cigar festival. Cuban cigars obviously are a huge deal in the world, which have been due to take place in Havana later this month. Without providing the details of the new date, photos of the daily life in Cuba show piles of waste on Havana's street corners in recent days, as many collection trucks have been left with empty fuel tanks. Crazy. So that's what's going on over there in Cuba, and it's definitely getting the heat from everything that's happening with all the Venezuelan oil. That's going to be determined, I guess, next month in March. We've been covering that for a minute now, right? Since that nation was overtaken, I guess. I think it's going to be March. What's the date on it? Like March 15th, March something like that. We have it on of course, Bitcoin's chart for that particular event. It's going to be Maduro court case, March 17th. And right around the same time, I think it's like a couple days prior, they're going to be having investors go scout out and discuss all the interworkings of Venezuela moving forward. It's funny how that all happens right on time, right with the pace, right with the pace. All right. So we have our Bitcoin right now sitting at $66,080, coming up a little bit today, basically following our baseline target from last night, calling for baseline bear. Yeah, we already wicked down to, it looks like 65.5, and yeah, we are coming back up right now. In the short term, we have about 20 minutes until 10 o'clock. Usually between 10 and 10:30, we see a correction in the market done by the market makers. Particularly, the one we've been looking at the most here recently has been Jane Street. We'll see if it happens again. Spoiler alert, it's probably going to happen again. Probably setting us down a little lower for the day. Until we get through tomorrow with the rolling and the weekend, with the potential of some sort of war breaking out in Iran. I guess we're just gonna throw a little oopsie Iran in here. There we go, and see if we get a black swan this weekend. No one wants to see that. All right, moving on. But it could be good for Bitcoin, like it did last time. You just never know what they're planning on doing. How much of that is going to be, just trying to, clean up the. How much of it is going to be a flight to safety to crypto, or specifically Bitcoin, like it was last time. All right, with the protesters. All right, let's see. Price makes narrative, says Maximus Diamond Hands. It does. Price does make narrative, but usually narrative also influences price. Trump also about to talk, says Booger Glider. Okay, he's talking now. Okay, so we do have a response from the Board of Peace. Thank you guys in the chat for letting me know. See if I can pull this up. Oh my God, what the hell? Just check the major outlets real quick. They're not even covering it. All right, okay. So we'll go over here on the YouTubes. I'm sure we'll find it over here. If it lets me type, for the love of God, let me type. Board Trump. Here we go. Forbes.
Respected people, but mostly leaders of Middle Eastern countries from all over the world. And they've been very generous with money also. And the United States, which I'll say in a moment, is also very generous with money because there's nothing more important than peace. And there's nothing less expensive than peace. When you go to wars, it costs you 100 times what it costs to make peace. We have a man at the end right there that's smiling because you learned that after 30 years of fighting, right? 30 years of fighting, we got it done. I want to thank you very much. That was a great thing you did, you and your new friend. They came to my office and they said, I've been fighting for 22 years. Now you're there for 23 years, right? But I've been fighting for 22 years. That's all I've done is fight this gentleman. And his counterpart was there for 7 years. He said, I've been there for 7 years. All I've done is fight this gentleman. And we had it worked out in about 24 hours, right? And it's been a good piece of that. I think they've become friends. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that, but I think so. I think they've become friends, right? Right. Great. Stand up. Stand up. These are two tough cookies, too. You think that was easy? It wasn't easy. These are two tough people, good people, but tough people. But, we're in the Oval Office, and we were getting near. But the one was at one side of the room. I have two chairs right in front of the desk, the beautiful, resolute desk. One's over here. One's on the other side of the room. I said, folks, could you get a little closer? Well, I don't. They felt very uncomfortable. They've been killing each other for 32 years. So I say, can you get a little closer? After 1 hour, they were right next to each other. We made a deal. They hugged. They signed. And we had peace with two very important countries. And I'll never forget it. So they started off a little weak, and they ended up really strong. And you can be very proud of yourselves. It was a beautiful thing to see. Thank you. Look at that. Can you believe it? 32 years. Thank you. Thank you very much. But we're honored to be joined today by Prime Minister Rama of Albania. Where is President Milei? You're another one, I'll tell you. Where's President?
Javier Milei, let's go, Bitcoin country.
I endorse him. I'm not supposed to be endorsing people, but I endorse, when I like people, you know, I've had a very good record of endorsing candidates within the United States. But now I endorse foreign leaders, including Viktor Orban, who's here, and others. And I endorse this gentleman, Milei. He was a little behind in the polls. He ended up winning in a landslide. I just endorsed the Prime Minister of Japan. She was in a tight race, but was probably going to win. And she won in the largest number in the history of Japan. So she likes me a lot. But it was an honor, and you're doing great. Oh, look, they're sitting right next, Victor. I think, but ultimately, I think I'm going to end up endorsing. Hey, look, as long as it works, it's okay with me. But the endorsement seems to be working in foreign countries, too, so that's good. But nice to have you both. Victor, nice to have you both. Very proud of you. The Prime Minister of another, really just a great guy, Pashinyan of Armenia. President Aliyev of Azerbaijan. I love saying that name now. You know, at the beginning it was giving me a hard time. Now I love saying it. It's a beautiful name. I love it. His Majesty King Hamad bin Essa Al Khalifa of Bahrain. Bahrain. Thank you. Thank you. Where are you? Where are you? He's so rich he can sit there. He can sit wherever the hell he wants.
Wow.
You know, he can sit up in the corner. He can sit up top. He might take a piece of this building, Marco. He'll take 25% of the building for about $6 billion. Thank you. And you've been very generous also. We appreciate it. Prime Minister Hun Manet of Cambodia. Raise your hand wherever you may be. Because, yeah, hi, how are you? Congratulations. That was another one, right? We did a good job with that one. Prime Minister Madbouli of Egypt. Thank you very much, and say hello to the General/President. Okay. Prime Minister Orban of Hungary, who has my complete and total endorsement for election. Not everybody in Europe loves that endorsement, but that's okay. He does an unbelievable job. He's done an incredible job on immigration, unlike some countries that have hurt themselves, but they're working on it. But I just want to let you know, you have my total and complete endorsement, and I'm putting it out. I already did, but I'm putting it out again. And you're coming up with an election, and I think you should be good. I'll tell you, Milei did pretty well. He was a little down, right? And then he ended up winning in a landslide, so that's pretty good. You're going to do great, Victor. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. You run a great country. A man that I really like a lot is, he's definitely tough. I don't want to fight him. President Prabowo of Indonesia. Thank you very much. Please, this is a big guy. I tell you, I said, how many people in Indonesia? He said, like 240 million. I said, no, say it again. How many? It's a big country you have. And you do a great job and respected by everybody. And thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much, Mr. President. President Tokayev of Kazakhstan, thank you very much. What a country that is. It's a wonderful country and a rich country, in case anybody has any question. We have some very rich people here today. President Osmani of Kosovo. President, thank you very much. Great job you're doing, too. Thank you very much. Prime Minister Sharif, I like this man, of Pakistan, because there was some fighting going on when I got to know him, and your Field Marshal, General, great General, great Field Marshal, a great guy. And I got to meet the Prime Minister. And he said in front of our Chief of Staff, Susie Wells, who's right here, he said, you know, nobody knows this, but I believe that President Trump saved 25 million lives when he stopped the war between us and India, right? You made that statement? I said 25 million lives? Could have been much more, actually. But it was really a beautiful thing. You said that in front of a group of people that They walked out. They don't think about it, but you're talking about that kind of lives. That war was raging. Planes were being shot down, right? And it was Pakistan and India. And I got on the phone with both of them, and I knew them a little bit. I knew Prime Minister Modi very well, actually. I got to know Pakistan through a little trade. They were trying to make too good a deal, and I got a little upset with them. And in the end, they got what they wanted, right? And they made a good deal. And I got to like them, the Prime Minister, the Field Marshal, who's a tough man, a tough, good fighter, right? Good, serious fighter. I like good fighters, actually. And when I heard that they were fighting, I picked up a certain newspaper. I won't tell you which one because it's fake news generally. But I picked up this newspaper and I saw that Pakistan and India were really going at it. And then it got worse and worse, and many planes were shot down. It was all out. And I called them and I said, listen, I'm not doing trade deals with you two guys if you don't settle this up. They said, no, that has both of them. They didn't want to do that. I said, no, it has to. If you don't do it, I'm not doing a trade deal. We're not doing a trade deal. And they do a lot of business with the United States, and they sort of softened up all of a sudden. And all of a sudden I read where there was a little bit of a pullback by one, then the other, and all of a sudden we worked out a deal, right? But I said, if you fight, I'm going to put 200% tariffs on each of your countries, which essentially makes you not allowed, you can't do any business. One of them, I won't say which one, said, no, can't do that. They both wanted to fight. But when it came to money, it's nothing like money. When it came to losing a lot of money, they said, I guess we don't want to fight. And we solved that deal in 2-3 days, right? And we did. We said, these are two very powerful nations. These are two nuclear nations. And I don't want to say what was going to happen, but, bad things happen. So, Prime Minister, I want to thank you because that was a very big deal. People have no idea. A lot of them say, oh, well, they weren't fighting. They were fighting. 11 jets were shot down, very expensive jets. And they were all in. Both of them were all in, and now they're not. And I think we'll always be able to settle up with them. I really do. I think you're going to have, it's a lot of progress was made even in the relationship. And Prime Minister Modi also, he's a great man. He's a great guy. They're all great. But I was very proud of it. President Pena of Paraguay is here. President, thank you very much. Young, handsome guy. It's always nice to be young and handsome. Doesn't mean we have to like you. I don't like young, handsome men. Women,
oh my God.
I like. Men, no, I don't have any interest. Good. That's right. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job, too. His Excellency Prime Minister Al Thani of Qatar, just a great man, a great man and highly respected. And he's working with a man who is amazing. I always say he needs a public relations agency because you do so much good and they have you down as evil. And you're not evil. You help us so much and you're such a good ally. And I just want people to know that. And the Emir is incredible, smart, as smart as you can be, a great leader. And he cares so much for the people. And he cares so much for the Middle East. So I want to thank you very much and send my regards. Your country has been a great help. So, surprising to some of the people writing out there, but now they'll start changing their tune because it's true. I only tell the truth. Prime Minister Don of Romania, wonderful people. The Romanian people are fantastic people, like you're fantastic. And a lot of them come and work in this country and help us in this country, as you know, and it's they are just really, really solid people. President Mirziyoyev of Uzbekistan, who is where? There he is, and a friend of mine. He's got one of the most difficult names in history, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Your country's doing great. You're doing great. And just no problems. Every time I see him, nope, we're doing good. No problems. And General Secretary To Lam of Vietnam. Vietnam is incredible as a country and as a force. And it's an honor to have you. really great honor to have you. A lot of respect for your country. We'll also want to express my gratitude to Vice President J.D. Vance, who is a fantastic man. He's a fantastic talent. He was a great student. He went to one school. He graduated. You know, most people, if you watch some of the people that were at the event in Munich, they didn't graduate quickly from college. They had everything they could do. There was one young, attractive woman. She was unable to answer questions. And she didn't do so well like J.D. did in college. J.D. graduated in a 4.5-year college in 2 years. And then he went to Yale and he graduated at the top of his class, went to the military grade. But when he went to Yale, there was one person that was marginally ahead of him, so he married her. Can you believe it? He married the person that was ahead. I don't know. I always like to say J.D. was first and Usha was second, because I get a little uncomfortable when I say them. But he's been incredible. He's a brilliant guy and a great guy, and he's been my friend. All of our people, we have a fantastic group of people, our cabinet members, everybody, many of them here. But JD's been great. Thank you very much. He gets a little bit tough on occasion. We've got to slow him down just a little bit on occasion. He says his mind. Now, then we have the opposite extreme. We have your friend sitting in the back. Your best friend sitting in the back is Marco. Marco does it with a velvet glove, but it's a kill, right? The result is the same. They do it very differently. And Marco, you really did yourself proud 2 days ago in Munich. In fact, so proud that I almost terminated his employ because they were saying, why can't Trump do this? I do, but I say it differently. But Marco, don't do any better than you did, please. Because if you do, you're out of here. But no, I want my guys to do great. And the acclaim he's gotten and the acclaim JD gets is great. We have smart people. And when you see the representatives there, like Gavin Newsom, he didn't know what he was doing. They didn't even know why. He didn't know why he was there. Or AOC, she was unable to answer a simple question. And she could have said, well, I'm studying it and I'll report back to you next week. You know, you can get away with that. But she just went, it's actually, I think it could be a career-ending answer because for 25 years, anybody running against her, I think Susie is going to use that little piece of stuff. It was not good. It was not good. That was not a natural. So I want to thank JD. I want to thank Secretary of State Marco Rubio. They're extraordinary. I want to thank Special Envoy for Peace, Steve Witkoff, who has been unbelievable. You know, I took Steve because I was a developer in New York, really successful, actually much more successful than Steve, but I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that, Johnny. I refuse to say it. But I saw something in Steve. Steve's a great negotiator. Everybody loved him. All these developers, and they're tough. You know, New York developers tend to be on the tough side. And, you know, most of them hate each other. Like a lot of the people in this room hate each other. You know, it's sort of natural, I guess. But we're bringing love back into the room like the old days. But everybody loves Steve. Every developer, the worst, most evil people, horrible human beings, actually. And they love Steve. So I remember this, and we had some conflicts, to put it mildly, in the world. And I said, Steve, how would you like to be Henry Kissinger Jr. that doesn't leak? And he said, are you a leaker, Steve? No. He didn't even know what the word meant, and it's true. I always say Henry Kissinger, who was one of the great leakers of all time, by the way, Richard Nixon said to him, Henry, who's leaking all this stuff? I don't know, Mr. President. It was Henry. It was like, these are little stories I like telling you. But Steve has been unbelievable. Everybody likes him. Ukraine loves him. Europe loves him. Russia loves him. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. He goes to see President Putin. Didn't know Putin. I set him up a meeting to see. I said, how's Steve doing? Sir, he's still inside. Oh, that was an hour. I called back. Tell Steve to call me when he's finished. I want to find out what the hell is going on. We want to end that war. Sir, he's still inside. 3 hours, 4 hours. They were together for 4 hours, the first meeting. That's talent. And they get along. I mean, people like or don't like Putin or Zelensky. They get along. Same thing with Zelensky. I mean, they all love Steve, and Steve's doing a great job. That's a tough one. That's a much tougher one. I would have thought that some of the ones that we settled that are up here would have been. I thought this would be easy because I have a very good relationship with President Putin. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. I'm going to be going to China in April. That's going to be a wild one.
He's just ranting now.
We have to put on that biggest display you've ever had in the history of China. You know, last time I went to China, President Xi, he treated me so well. He gave me a display. I never saw so many soldiers all the same height, exactly.
Yeah, well, last time when you weren't there, it was the biggest display, so you missed that.
1.4 billion people, you know, lots of shoulders. Everybody was within about 1/8 of an inch the same height. I said, if they put their helmets down, you could have played pool on the top of their heads. And it was pretty amazing. But I said, you got to top it. He said, I'll top it. We're going to top it. We're going to have a lot of the people, most of the fake news back there is going to be going. So we have, Steve has done a great job. And then a little bit later on, we brought Jared in. Jared was responsible for the Abraham Accords, which is incredible. Nobody else could have done that. A very smart guy. And we're making Jared an envoy also, envoy of peace. They're both envoys of peace. And you couldn't get two. I tell you what, I watch these two guys. I say, at least we're covered from an IQ standpoint. These two guys walk into a room. And but people like them both, you know. They're good people. And they like them both. And they've had some very good meetings. They've had some very interesting meetings having to do with, as you know, Iran is a hot spot right now. And they're meeting and they have a good relationship with the representatives of Iran. And, you know, good talks are being had. It's proven to be over the years not easy to make a meaningful deal with Iran. We have to make a meaningful deal. Otherwise, bad things happen. But we have to make a meaningful deal. But they have a great relationship with the representatives of Iran. They have a great relationship with the other one that they're really working on now. Because so many of these, I mean, as an example, Kosovo, Serbia. I did that one. Could you stand up if any of you guys are, when you're here, just stand up for a second. Kosovo, Serbia. Stand up.
Where's the cameraman? What is he doing? Like, he has never moved hand away from the president. I'm assuming.
And you're getting along.
There's no other cameras.
And when you don't get along, you'll call me, and we'll get it solved, right? We'll get it solved. Thank you very much. Really good. And then again, Pakistan and India. That was a big one. And just, I think you should actually stand. Come, please. Stand just for a second. Pakistan and India, thank you very much. And I spoke to Prime Minister Modi. He's excited. He's watching us right now. Egypt and Ethiopia. We're going to get that. You know, there's a little dam that got built. Little dam, like maybe the largest dam in the world. Built and financed, of course, by the United States brilliantly. And having a little trouble getting water to the Nile. It's not, that's a tough situation, but we're going to get that solved. Armenia and Azerbaijan, we talked about. And again, thank you, fellas, very much. Great job. Great job. Thank you. Cambodia and Thailand. So incredible what you did, that you got together and it all worked out. They're watching right now on closed circuit. Thank you very much, and thank you. That was a big one, Cambodia and Thailand. These are nasty fighters, I have to tell you. These fighters are nasty. Now we talk about, you talk nasty fighter, you're nice guys compared to this. Congo and Rwanda.
Oh, yeah. Hey, babies, what you going to do about it?
Pretty peaceful. There's little flare-ups every once in a while. I'll get a call once a week. Sir, there's a flare-up in the Congo again. We'll get it straightened out, right, Susie? We'll get it straightened out. And Israel, as you know, with, you could say Israel and numerous countries if you want to really know the truth, but Israel and Iran, and we'll see where that goes. But when you think of Israel, we've done the biggest thing of all. We have peace in the Middle East right now. That's bigger than people said it couldn't be done. For 3,000 years, they've been talking about Middle East. They said it couldn't be done. And you look at what's happened in Gaza. And one of the keys to it was when we took those beautiful, magnificent, we just ordered 22 more of them, updated model. The B-2 bombers are incredible. I never understood the B-2 bomber. I'd watch, it's a wing. And I've never quite understood that, Johnny. I'd look at it, I'd say it was beautiful, but what does it do? It carries very big bombs. And it went into Iran.
Peace
and
bombs.
It totally decimated the nuclear potential. And when it decimated that, all of a sudden we had peace in the Middle East because there was a black cloud hanging over the Middle East. And if that wasn't done, that cloud would have been there. And countries like Saudi Arabia, countries like Qatar, countries like, nobody could have signed. You would have had that threat. Nobody could have had, you couldn't have had peace in the Middle East. So now we may have to take it a step further, or we may not. Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days.
Bitcoin's the only thing up right now, about 0.25%.
Today is proof with determined leadership, nothing is impossible. When I took office, the war in Gaza was raging with thousands of people being killed and no end in sight. Today, thanks to unrelenting diplomacy and the commitment of many of the great people in this room, we have 59 countries signed up on Gaza. Think of that. We have, it's amazing. But all the people, many, really so many in this room, the war in Gaza is over. It's over. There are little flames. Hamas has been, I think they're going to give up their weapons, which is what they promised. If they don't, it'll be, they'll be harshly met, very harshly met. They don't want that. All the stuff like they don't mind dying. They told me that's not true. Everyone said, oh, they don't mind
just little
dying.
flames.
No, they don't want to die. They said, we don't want to die. People don't want to die. The ceasefire was held, and every last remaining hostage, both living and dead, has been returned back home. Think of that. That was an impossibility. And we did hundreds of hostages, but the last 20, and I always said to Steve and Jared, I said, the last 20 are going to be very tough, very, very tough. And we got them back. We got the living back, and then we only got about 16 of the dead, and we said, well, you got to get them all. You promised them all. And they dug and dug and dug. You can imagine it's a job that's brutal. And Hamas really did a lot of that work. And you got to give them credit for that. They brought the last one home a week ago, and we got all 28 of them, living and dead. The amazing thing, because I've never seen anything quite like it, the parents of the dead, they knew their boy was dead. This case, boys, all boys, men, but to the parents' boys. They knew their boy was dead. They wanted that dead body as much as if he were alive. And when they got them back, there was great sadness, but there was great joy too. They wanted it as much as the people that got their sons back alive. But we got a lot of people before those 20, Steve, what nobody talks about, but hundreds of people. We did a good job, and you guys did a fantastic job. I want to thank every nation that helped us achieve this monumental breakthrough, saving countless lives, and really bringing peace and bringing the concept of peace, because nobody thought peace in the Middle East. I've always heard peace in the Middle East is impossible, and it's turned out not to be. And we do have some work to do with Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. You can't have peace in the Middle East if they have a nuclear weapon. And they can't have a nuclear weapon, and they've been told that very strongly. Since the hard-won ceasefire of last October, the United States and our partners have facilitated the delivery of vast amounts of humanitarian aid, numbers that nobody's ever seen before. In November, the United Nations Security Council unanimously approved the Board of Peace. And last month in Davos, we welcomed over 24 members to this very important new organization. And we are very closely working with the United Nations. In fact, I'm going to speak to the Secretary General in a little while. He's a good man. And I've had a good relationship. Other than in my last speech, they did turn off my teleprompter. I got up there. My teleprompter didn't work. I'm sitting in front of all of you people and more. I had no teleprompter. I knew I was in trouble because I'm walking up. The teleprompters are over here. I had the most beautiful speech ready. I was all set to knock them dead. First, I had an escalator that stopped. You know that. It's going up.
Oh, here we go again. The escalator.
My movie star first lady was...
Stop as soon as you get on it.
Because I put my hand on a certain part of her body. and I was able to stop my fall. Otherwise, because she had no trouble. I said, boy, that was a very sharp stop, Johnny. So I said, that was strange. I've been on a lot of escalators. It's never happened before. Usually it stops very slowly. This was just boom. But our First Lady was right in the proper location for me. I'm waving to people.
Oh, my God.
She was holding on a little tighter. She knew
Oh, no.
She did. She said, that's a very successful movie out right now. Like, #1, can you believe this?
Here we go again.
And,
Holy
it's a
crap.
big movie.
Grandpa.
Big movie stuff. And I always say,
lay
it's
off
trouble because
lay
I
off
always
the
say
juice,
there's
Grandpa.
not room in one family for 2 stars. I told her that. We can't have 2 stars in one family. So I don't know what that means, but it's not good. But it is good because we're proud of her. She did people in the United States love the First Lady, and she did.
The rowboats are coming.
The biggest selling documentary in 20 years. Can you believe? The theaters are all packed. Women especially, they go back and they see it 2 or 3 times, 4 times. But together we're committed to achieving a Gaza that is properly governed throughout. The whole area is going to be, so many countries that have really nothing to do with the Middle East, but they're maybe somewhat close by. They're all involved. They want to go in and fight. They tell me all the time, we'd like to send soldiers to fight if it's necessary. And I don't think it's going to be necessary. We have 2 countries that want to go in and do a number on Hamas. I said, I really don't think I hope it's not going to be necessary, because they made a promise, and they promised me get rid of their weapons. Looks like they're going to be doing that, but we'll have to find out. But it's no longer a hotbed of radicalism and terror. And to end that, we have today, and I'm pleased to announce that Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, UAE, Morocco, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Uzbekistan, and Kuwait have all contributed more than $7 billion toward the relief package. That's great. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. And many more are contributing too. So the numbers are, this just started. This is our first meeting. But every dollar spent is an investment in stability and the hope of new and harmonious. It's a region that's so important. It's so vibrant. It's so incredible. The people are so incredible, but we want to have a harmonious Middle East. The Middle East is amazing. So many friends in the Middle East. They're so smart.
Yeah,
sometimes they're too energetic. That's the, a lot of people aren't energetic. Sometimes they're a little bit too energetic. These are great people. The world is now waiting on Hamas, and that's taking place. And it's the only thing that's right now standing in the way. We have Lebanon with certain things that we're working on that are very important. We have to solve the problem of Lebanon, but it's relatively small in terms of what's been done. And again, the key was getting rid of the nuclear potential, because Iran would have had a nuclear weapon based on everything we found out since within 1 month. We can't let that happen. So many of our friends in Europe are attending today, and we're eager to have them become full members. They all want to become full members, and we've had a great response from Europe. And Europe is, it's where I come from, where so many people come from that are in the United States. But we have a great relationship with Europe. We have a great head of NATO. He is a fantastic man, and he's doing a great job, really great job. I'm excited to announce that Norway has agreed to host an event bringing together the Board of Peace. Oh, I thought when I saw this note, I'm excited to announce that Norway, I thought they were going to say that they're giving me the Nobel Prize. Oh, this is less exciting. Oh, it says, I'm excited to announce that Norway, and I'm saying, oh, great, I'm getting the Nobel Prize, finally. Finally, they got it right. But I don't care. I don't care about Nobel Prize. I care about saving lives, just so you understand. We play and we all, do what we have to do. I only have one thing. I don't want to see people killed from parts of the world that are very far away from the United States. And if I have an ability to turn off wars, I want to use that ability, because it's people, millions of people. It's like the Prime Minister said, 25 million people maybe And that's a small number compared to what it could have been if you really think about it, right? No, I want to save lives, and I don't care about prizes. And the UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Assistance is raising $2 billion for the support of Gaza. Additionally, Japan has just committed to host an aid fundraiser, which will be a very big one. It's already successful. We know some of the numbers that are being talked about, which will be attended by other nations in the region, including South Korea, the Philippines, Singapore, and others. And I know that China is going to be involved, and I think Russia is going to be involved. I think they will be. I want to have everybody, get all sides, because it doesn't help when you have all sides with one ideology. You have to have everybody together for this. I'm also pleased to announce that FIFA will be helping to raise a total of $75 million for projects in Gaza. And I think they're soccer related, where you're doing fields and you're getting the greatest stars in the world to go there. People that are bigger stars than you and I, Johnny. I hate to say it. You know, I met one of your great stars who came to the White House, as you know. And my son was very excited. These are great people. These are great people. And Johnny's going to bring the stars to the area. And they're really known. People in Gaza know every one of them, right? You know? So it's really something. And we'll soon be detailing the announcement. And if I can do, I'll get over there with you. I want to thank Johnny and FIFA for all of the wonderful things they did and are doing. They gave me their first Peace Prize. They gave me a Peace Prize. I think they saw that I got screwed by Norway, and they said, let's give him a Peace Prize. I mean, very good. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Johnny's very smart. He's very, very smart. The nations represented here today, just in closing, are not just contributing money. Some are also pledging personnel to help preserve the ceasefire and secure a very enduring peace. We have to have enduring peace. Having peace, knowing it's going to blow up in 2 weeks, doesn't mean anything. In particular, Indonesia, thank you very much, Indonesia. It's a great country. Thank you very much. Look at that man. Look how tough he is. You think it's easy dealing with him? Look at that face. You are a tough cookie. And we say it lovingly, too. We need strength. You say, see, he doesn't mind. He's tough and he's smart. And smart is more important. Morocco, thank you very much. Great. What you're doing is great. Albania, Kosovo, Kazakhstan have all committed troops and police to stabilize Gaza. Egypt and Jordan are likewise providing very, very substantial help, troops, training, and support for a very trustworthy Palestinian police force. We think we're getting some very good people on that police force. And, you know, it's peace in the Middle East. We have peace in the Middle East. Think of it. For years you've been hearing about peace in the Middle East, and everybody's saying it's impossible. All of these countries are working together around the vision of a Middle East that is free from the curse of extremism and terror. And now is time. And by the way, even people with extremism and preaching extremism, they're exhausted. They're tired. It's been going on for too many years. I don't care who you are. They're tired. They want peace. And now is the time for Iran to join us on a path that will complete what we're doing. And if
all right, finally we get some mentions.
If they don't join us, it'll be great too. But it'll be a very different path. They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal. Or if that doesn't happen, I maybe can understand. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But bad things will happen if it doesn't. With the commitments announced today, the Board of Peace is proving that it does not just convene countries. It devises and implements, and real solutions happen. We've come up with solutions. This is so little talk. This is very little talk, all action. First time, it was always talk in the Middle East. People would talk about peace in the Middle East, and then they'd go home and they'd never even think about it again. Nothing would happen. We're providing a model for how responsible sovereign nations can cooperate to take responsibility for confronting problems in their own regions. The Board of Peace is showing how a better future can be built starting right here in this room. And I want to let you know that the United States is going to make a contribution of $10 billion to the Board of Peace. Thank you. And we've had great
money
number, and that number is a very small number when you look at that compared to the cost of war. That's 2 weeks of fighting. It's a very small number. It sounds like a lot, but it's a very small number. So we're committed to $10 billion. Together we can achieve the dream of bringing lasting harmony to a region tortured by centuries of war, suffering, and carnage. They say 3,000 years. And hopefully we can lift up the eyes of the world to envision how other intractable conflicts can be settled. So many conflicts, they'd say, are impossible to settle, and we get them settled. We got, of those 8 that we settled, most of them were said to be not settleable. And they not only got settled, they got settled within days. More impossible problems can be solved as we go along this very beautiful path. I think it's a beautiful path. I think it's such an important day. Even the weather's beautiful. We walk in, it's beautiful. Everything's beautiful. But the ancient wounds can be healed, and they are indeed ancient. This has been going on for so many centuries that our entire planet will be a better, safer, more beautiful, and more peaceful place for us all. We're going to be working with the United Nations very closely. We're going to bring them back. I think the United Nations has great potential, really great potential. It has not lived up to potential. The 8 wars, I never even spoke to them about one of them, and I should be speaking to them about all of them. Someday I won't be here. The United Nations will be, I think, is going to be much stronger. The Board of Peace is going to almost be looking over the United Nations and making sure it runs properly. But we're going to strengthen up the United Nations. We're going to make sure its facilities are good. They need help, and they need help money-wise. We're going to help them money-wise. And we're going to make sure the United Nations is viable. And you have some very good people at the United Nations, can do a good job. But as I said, I've said it for years, United Nations has tremendous potential. A lot of people didn't like when I said it. They said, oh, you shouldn't say that because, you know, we don't care about the United Nations. No, it's really very important, and I think it's going to eventually live up to potential. That'll be a big day. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You're my friends. You're great leaders. You're great people. And I can honestly say, you know, you're strong leaders, you're tough leaders in many cases, and every single one that I'm looking at that's right here, I've gotten to know and I've gotten to respect, and really you're friends of mine. And if I can help you at all, you let me know. But this is going to be something, the Board of Peace will be something that, the likes of which I don't think anybody's seen before. And thank you all very much. It's a great honor. I'm going to ask J.D. Vance to come up and say a few words. Thank you very much.
All right, J.D., it's up to you now. say something stupid, kill the dollar. China's our peasants. Let's say that again.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, very much for your leadership, but also for the kind words about me personally. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, but then after the president said that I was so smart and that I didn't want to repeat our congresswoman who froze for 20 seconds over in Munich, now I'm tempted, sir, just to freeze for 20 seconds and just stare at the cameras, and maybe they'll say nice things about me like they do about Congresswoman Cortez. But I have 3 very brief messages. First of all, to the President of the United States, but to the entire team, to Marco, to Steve, to Jared in particular, who've done such an incredible job. I think what this Board of Peace represents is a recognition that if you actually have a President of the United States and a team that's committed to diplomacy, it can actually work. When I look at what happened to Israel on October the 7th, all those innocent people who were murdered, the fact that you had all of these hostages, and of course, a terrible war that came from it, I remember thinking to myself, how is it ever going to be possible to get these hostages home safely, to make it possible for the people of Gaza to actually have a reasonable future, but also to ensure that Israel is never attacked again? It turns out the answer was you just needed a president who was committed to the effort and committed to the work, and that's what we had, thankfully, under the leadership of this president. And you got to make peace, but then you have to make the peace stick. And that brings me to my second point. That's what the Board of Peace, I think, is fundamentally about, is making the peace stick. And it's an incredible thing that you guys have all done. So to all of the leaders gathered here today who are investing in the future, who are investing in peace, We're grateful to you. We're grateful for your partnership. And in particular, I think to the president of Azerbaijan and the prime minister of Armenia, who I just saw last week, thank you all for making it possible and for showing what real leadership can accomplish. When you set aside weapons and killing and destruction and invest in your people and invest in prosperity, it can create great things. So thank you both for what you did. I think it showed great leadership. And finally, to the American people, I think it's important that the American people recognize why we're here today. And the reason that we're here today is, yes, to save lives and yes, to promote peace, but this creates incredible prosperity for the American people. The countries represented here represent trillions of dollars of investment in the United States of America that would not have been possible without this president's leadership and advocacy for peace. The economies here represent millions of American jobs of people who are receiving products built in American factories and made by American workers would not be possible without a focus on peace. So, Mr. President, while I think this is great for the world, I also think it's really, really great for the United States of America. So we're looking forward to the partnership. With that, I want to turn it over to the MC for the rest of the program, and that is our great press secretary, Carolyn Levitt. Thank you.
Terrific, terrific. So I think we're pretty much done with this here. At some point, the market will start to react. We got about 5 minutes until, yes, the market, typical in typical fashion will correct due to the market makers' intervention. I guess I see maybe we can spend maybe a minute here. I don't know.
Well, congratulations,
Mr.
really President and Mr. Vice President, for convening the first ever Board of Peace meeting. And we will now hear from our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
Trump has both an ability and a willingness to use the power of his office to think outside the box. And that's why we're
all right. He's just going to be doing some brown nosing. Okay. I got you. Let's go. All right. So yeah, everything is down right now, guys. The Dixie is rising. 98 on the Dixie. Crazy. We haven't seen 98. It's been a couple months, I think. Let's take a look at the Dixie this morning. Holy crap. All right, Bitcoin's still chopping around 66,000, still right on top of our baseline target. Probably going to run down to the bottom of our channel this morning. We can take a look at the order book and see what's in store in about 3 minutes. Damn, we gotta hurry. See what's about to happen. The DXY right now, of course, rising up to 98. We have not seen 98 since the beginning of the month, actually. Well, we didn't quite get to 98, though. We did tap 97, 8 and 97.9, but we haven't seen 98 in that range since the beginning of the year back in January. So hopefully it doesn't get much higher than this. I really don't want to see a Dixie come back from the ashes. We want to continue this downward trajectory. Continue it down. All right, we'll see. Again, it's been on a massive losing streak for the past, how was it, been 5 years? 4 years? There's the beginning of the year so far. Let's go back to the weekly and go a little bit farther out. And I love this chart. I've been following this stupid thing for years. So yeah, since looks like 1984. Since 1984. Down and to the right. Of course, a little bit of a climb since the Great Print and all that, 2008 coming up since then. But yeah, you know, guys, where we're going. Dixie is donezo, guys. We're almost at $39 trillion, about $300 billion away. We print an average about $6 to $8 billion every single day, and that doesn't count all the stuff we're going to be printing this year with the likes of these free money. $2,000 stimulating checks and all that stuff. We have 1 minute to go. Let's take a look and see what Bitcoin's doing right now. 66,000 about to be tested here on time at, of course, 10:30. Not surprised. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Let's take a look at the order books and see if there's anything in there that could determine where we're going to go next. All right. We still got, more brown nosing over there. I can't. All right, let's take a look at the order books. Brought to you by, of course, Kimba the White Snowland on YouTube, bringing us the live heat map, the live book map for free, so you don't have to pay $30 a month for this service. All right, and neither do I. I don't wanna. If it's free, it's for me. That's what I always say. It's my motto. Let's take a look and see what's going on under the curtain, behind the curtain. All right. So right now, overall inflows right now are a little bit flat. Bitcoin is trading around 11 or almost 12 billion in inflows over on trading volume, 12.7. So the bears are ahead a little bit by almost a solid $1 billion in trading volume. We have wow, this is getting kind of messy down here. Wow. Okay. 65.8, 65.7, building up resistance right now. I mean, I'm support on the downside. 65 flat and 65.13 probably going to be our next area to bounce. Right above us, there really isn't too much. I mean, if we do get liquidity this morning, it is possible we go back up to 67 pretty easily. We do see a little bit of that forming up around a 67.2. That could be, of course, a little bit more rocky after 67.5. So that's what we're looking at right now in the short term. New areas being added, of course, on the downside, which is of course positive for more momentum to the upside. 55 still being loading up. In the grand scheme of things over the last 24 hours. All this area, of course, above us getting stronger and stronger as well. At some point, we're going to get a short squeeze. Yeah, and we're still stuck between 65 or 66,000 flat and about 68. I think that's about 68. Of course, in the middle of our parallel channel. Yeah, that's where it is, 68. We did wake up there yesterday, and we did fall from there yesterday. So we do need a recover, but I don't think we're going to see much of a recovery just yet until Friday. Tomorrow, we, of course, have SCOTUS coming out and giving us a probably nothing burger of news when it comes to the ruling on the tariffs. That's why it's in my headline or in my thumbnail still, guys. It's still kind of relevant until it's not. Still right on top of our baseline target as of today. Not surprised. Hopefully the most amount of pain we'll see today is the test of the 65K area. Like I just showed you on the order books. That's pretty much the only bit of support we have remaining. Let me just double check and see what else is going over on the longer time frames. You can see that all built up here. Yep, so 62,000 is going to be probably the strongest level we have to bounce off of if we do continue to chop on through down here to about 63, 64. That's going to be probably our low if we do see a bit of a black swan-like event over the weekend with low liquidity. Of course, 65 or 55, I'm sorry, is going to be in the cards. So hope you got some dry powder just in case we go into this crazy sell-off in the weekend. A lot of people are pointing to that. Donald Trump mentioned Iran, said that they're going to have a big response, I guess, and if they don't agree to some sort of peace deal. All right, so that's where we are right now on the order books, guys. We already got through the threshold of 1030, and we're still holding. More likely, we're going to be correcting a little bit to the upside today, but until about 1230, maybe we'll see another downward pressure. All of this, of course, coming in before tomorrow afternoon. I think the termination's usually around 12 o'clock. Isn't it like 11, 12? No, it's like 10. Yeah, they usually come out and they're like, nothing has changed at this time. We're not going to change any rolling, blah, 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 blah. Usually it's like 10, 10:30, and we're all just kind of waiting for a nothing burger. All right. Again, going back to Polymarket, we can take a look on the day before, right? Polymarket rolling for the SCOTUS decision on the tariffs. Let's take a look and see what's going on over there. As Bitcoin chops around 66,200. And we got to do the overall sentiment too. We haven't done that yet. Trump has kind of derailed everything. The Dixie, man, 98 on the Dixie. That just sucks. All right, let's take a look. U.S. strikes Iran by February 28th. Now looking at a 25% chance. March 15th, still bouncing about 50. So, still, yeah. I mean, you don't want to tell everyone you're going to be bombing them the weekend before, right? or the day or two before the weekend. Look at that, February 20th, 6% chance that the Supreme Court's going to roll on his tariffs tomorrow. So again, probably going to be an absolute nothing burger. February 25th, I'm not sure where this date's coming in from. I mean, why would they even have another determining ruling on the 25th? I don't know. March 31st, more than likely we're going to see, hopefully, some sort of response. The markets require it, man, to move forward this year. All right. All right. Moving on. So let's get into the overall sentiment. Bitcoin's still chopping around the same spot. And here it's about 5 minutes after 10:30. The rest of the market's still down. And we're going to find out just how down here in a minute. Market sentiment right now. Let's put Helmo away real quick. God, he's still messing around there. There we go. Fear and greed right now for the stock market is still hanging out around 39. This is like 3 or 4 points lower than it was on the high of yesterday. So this is the stock market right now in the open. Then we got the fear and greed for crypto. Yesterday the low was 8. Let's see where we're at today. Sitting at a 9, up 1 point. I think the high yesterday was 10. So it just keeps sitting around this range. Extreme fear, the longest we've ever been in extreme fear. All right, right now. All right, and then we're looking at the Dixie, of course, coming up to 98 flat. 98 flat. Crazy move there. Obviously, it's because America's looking strong today, as per usual. Probably already seen the peak today. We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. If anything happens tomorrow, probably going to see nothing rolling on the tariffs and probably going to shoot back down in response to that, I would imagine. All right. Taking a look at, crypto market. Let's take a look and see what the bubbles are doing on the day. We're looking for DCA opportunity, and there's a lot of them today. Guys, oversold on the day. There's at least average of 3 to 4%. Yes, 4% down on the day. Some of your favorite projects are down close to 5%. 5%. Swee's down 6.6% on the day. Could be a good day to DCA into Swee. Tau, BitTensor's down 8.4%. What else we have here? We've got ICP down almost 8%. Arbitrum's down 12%. Some decent moves on the single day. Let's look at the weekly, and this has been pretty much the lackluster, right? So we're still looking for another weekly drop to really get into the blood here. Still not a single thing in that meets my criteria of 15 to 20% off on the week. On the monthly is where all of your moves are going to have to be made. Of course, a deciding factor. I'm looking for 40s and 50s right here on the way that everything is oversold. Typically it's 30 and 40. I guess we're going to have to stick with that because there's hardly anything that's even close to 50% off anymore. We've been grinding down here for quite a while. Dash is the only thing that's oversold 50%, obviously, because of the privacy coin trend, right? With XMR down 38% in retrospect, with that particular liquidity going in and out. Let's see what else we have. We have DOT down 30%, ICP is down 43%, Swee's still down a solid 40% as well. Render's down 30%, just barely meeting my criteria. And IP, yeah, we go. One of the biggest movers there is down 52.8. I think that is the biggest mover to the downside here on the monthly. I continue to load up a little bit of that every single week. Let's see. Anything else going on? Solana's down 36%. Still not as crazy as it was, like 45% off last week, right? At the beginning of this week, even still was in the 40s. So if I were to pick one today, it's going to be probably between IP and Swee. I think Swee is kind of your Goldilocks, like in terms of utility and price. All right, let's take a look and see what else is going on. The top 200 assets doing the same thing over here as well. Biggest movers, all is down 33%. What the hell is this? Looks like it just moved into our top 200 within the last month or so, probably in the last couple weeks. I haven't even heard of this thing before. Let's take a look and see what's going on with All Network. AWE Network. Let's see, CoinMarketCap, please. All right, health check on this, see what the hell's going on with All. Never heard of it before. Let's find out. Looks like the overall market cap is sitting at $137 million. Not too small, not too big, kind of a mid cap. Total supply sitting at about 2 billion tokens. Total circulating, it appears to be at this time. I don't know if it's inflationary or not, if it's I'm not sure the tokenomics on this particular project just yet. Looking at the about page for this project, what is All Network? All Network is a opening portal to autonomous worlds where AI agents collaborate. Looks like something we just talked about last night. What was it, Supra? I think it was Supra we were talking about. Yes, with the same sort of narrative. Adapt and evolve, the autonomous worlds engine, AWE. All Autonomous Worlds Engine is a modular framework enabling enabling the creation of self-sustaining worlds for scalable agent to agent and human agent collaboration. AWE scales interactions between thousands of autonomous agents using parallel processing, dependency management, and GPU optimized workloads. World.fun. Ooh, terrific. I love something that's called something.fun. Is an autonomous world launcher that supports 1,000 AI agents. Autonomous world powered by AWE. Users can create and customize agents to be deployed into these autonomous worlds using AWE. It looks like another Virtuals protocol, another Sui AI protocol. What's the one over there on I always forget that one on Solana. Obviously, there's a bunch of marketplaces that facilitate the same sort of thing on different ecosystems as well. This one appears to be, is it its own layer one? I don't see affiliate chain here. Looking at the contract. Aggregate to simple debt. We take a look at the website. But that's a little brief on what's all is. I don't want to spend too much time on this token. It just entered the top 200 within a couple of weeks ago. All right. Anything else going on here? What's the most oversold in the week? Any 15s here? Any 15s? Nothing. Nothing is oversold in the week, guys. Nothing. I'm looking at the monthly here for the top 200 assets. Am I at the right spot? No, I'm at the top 100. All right, so we're looking at the weekly here. Yeah, here we go. There we got River, of course, MYX, of course, the trending coins still oversold. Of course, the capital moving in and out of Monero and Zcash right now, as well as what was the other one? Too many freaking coins. Dash. We're looking at Optimism down 21%. Not too bad there on the weekly. Just barely meeting our 15% criteria. Hex is down almost 15%, and Layer 0 down 33. Pulse Chain's almost at that 15% as well. Going to have to look at the monthlies for the most part as well here on the top 200. Again, all right, looking at 30s and 40s minimum. ZBEC still 33% off. NYX is down 83%. Insane on the monthly. Still pretty relatively new project. Still trying to probably find its bottom since its launch back at in the beginning of January. So that's not too surprising there anyway. River's down 75% now on the monthly. Those are the biggest movers to the downside. Looking for coins with utility without any sort of, current narratives or trend. I'm still looking at ZBEC, man. I still like ZBEC oversold at 32%, 33%. That could be a little bit more blood. Honestly, there could be just a little bit more blood. In the 40% here is mostly gaming tokens and some other projects. Starknet's down 42%. If I were to pick one today, I guess it's going to have to be ZBEC. I just don't like any of these coins in the top 200 anymore. It's amazing how they're still here. I mean, Fartcoin. Who's going to buy Fartcoin? It's 41% off today, guys. Yeah, I'm feeling some kind of way right now. Doesn't it feel like there's enough blood? There could be more blood. This could be more blood. IMX is down 36.9. Maybe that's another good one too here. But for the most part, I'm mostly looking at the top 100. I do like Sui oversold 40%. Still on the monthly. Still my top pick. Probably going to be still Sui and ZBEC. Nothing. Yeah, I'm not too excited about anything else, guys. I mean, Jido's only 16% off on the month. We've been calling for that, of course, almost every single day in January when it was oversold like 50, 60%, right? It was nuts. Yeah, on the month. That's crazy. All right, guys, that's my 2 sats. Not financial advice.
I'd buy that for $1.
Going back to TradFi news, let's see what else Bloomberg's talking about. We just finished up the World Peace Board, the first World Peace Board. Everything is red except for Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's holding up by like 1/10%. Everything is in the red. Holy crap. Even S&P 500, 68.72 on the S&P. Total market cap now down to what? 2.27, 2.26. Yeah, 2.26. Some of the lowest we've seen here this week. Yes, sir. On a total market cap. All right, 66,400 on Bitcoin. Chopping up a little bit here, but still too early to tell. Again, before Friday's ruling on the tariffs. Like I said, we're gonna have to wait till that to be over and maybe see a little bit of a bounce after, but not much. Don't expect the world until maybe after the weekend. Okay, clears. All right, let's see what else is going on. Doomberg. Anything else? You talking about anything relevant? Anything interesting? Talking about Zuckerberg. Let's take a look at CNBC. What's old man Kramer yapping about? Nothing. He's on break. Let's get into some crypto news now. Yes, we are definitely over 44 minutes over. Let's find out. See, Google searches for Bitcoin going to zero at highest since 2022. Let's go. Going to zero. Dude, this is insane. It's a very red day. Especially for all the coverage, too. All right. Very bearish day. Google search for Bitcoin going to zero have surged to their highest level since the post-FTX panic. Guys, this is a bottom indicator. November 2022. That's the bottom of the bear market. Damn. November, October was the bottom of the bear back in 2022. According to Google's trends data from the past 5 years, the spike, which is right here. We're almost at 11. Holy crap. We're almost at 11 right now. Is it going to show me the thing? There we go. Bitcoin interest over time on the Bitcoin going to zero chart. There it is. That's awesome. Yeah, the highest level it's been since the bear market last year, our last cycle. Crazy. Again, just for a perspective, Bitcoin back then was worth $15,000 to $16,000 in the bear. 15.5 I bought around that time, guys. And I'm feeling the same sort of thing. I started buying at the beginning of this month. I started putting in $7 a day into Bitcoin. All right. Google searches for Bitcoin going to zero have surged to the highest level since FTX panic of November 2022. According to the Google Trends data for the past 5 years, the spike aligns with Bitcoin's drawdown to its October 6, 2025 all-time high to the near low about 66,500 at the time of writing on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, you know what? I'm feeling some kind of way. Let's go. Thursday. And CoinGecko leaving the asset almost at 50% below its peak. At the same time, the Bitcoin fear and greed has plunged to extreme fears around 9 levels since previously seen during the Terra ecosystem collapse. Oh my god, that's another good too. That's the only coin I ever lost money on. Freaking Terra Luna. I lost $250. That was a lot of money for me back in 2021, 22. Google Trends shows the worldwide interest in the phrase Bitcoin's going to zero. Last hit comparable levels in early November 2022 when FTX froze withdrawals and Bitcoin was at around $15,000. Testing my memory too. I'll never forget that time period. Crypto intelligence platform Perception analyzed narrative intelligence across 650 plus crypto media sources that shared its findings with the Cointelegraph founder Fernando Nicolic. Said that the fear in 2022 was driven by the internal events such as the cascading failures of centralized leaders and one of the industry's largest exchanges, while today's fear is driven by macro fears and being amplified by a single bearish voice. Nicolic said that the Bloomberg's Mike McGlone, here we go, still calling for $10,000. We're still talking about this? Oh my god.
What are you, stupid?
Yeah, he's the only one calling for it too. He's an idiot. I'm not even going to read any more on that. Of course, we've covered it 3 or 4 times on the channel. Just this year we've talked about it. He just brought that back because at the beginning of the year, he wasn't even mentioning the $10,000 Bitcoin price prediction he had back in October, November last year is what he was calling for when he was calling for it initially. And he just changed his perspective back again. I think it was back in January he changed it from 10,000 to 25K. You know, he's like, oh, let's just go to 10K. Stupid. Also to remind you guys, that Bitcoin's going to zero is also another mention to Bitcoin is dead. That's right. Bitcoin is dead. It is dead, sir. It is dead. The price has hit a floor. The price of zero. God. Bitcoin is dead, guys. It is dead. Here's Bitcoin's dead on the chart. It has been announced dead, declared 467 times. And if you invested $100 each time, you would have about 69,000. You'd have a full 69 million. I'm sorry, $69 million in Bitcoin if you had invested every time it was dead, $100 since the beginning of Bitcoin's time. Cool stuff. Macro fears and quantum angst also are playing into a factor. We talked about this a little bit more yesterday with the likes of Willy Woo, OG, of course, Bitcoiner in our space, calling for, the quantum fears to take hold of the markets. The surge as Bitcoin going to zero surges unfolding against the backdrop of the record high macro anxiety. The World Uncertainty Index, which counts references of uncertainty in economist intelligence unit reports. Also, it's also at a high with the market sentiment. The market sentiment is at an all-time high as well in the red. Is setting its highest level since the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, Fred, time series, exceeding the peaks around the 2008 global financial crises and the 2020 COVID shock. That's crazy. We don't have either one of those things happening right now, and we are sitting at extreme fear for the markets. Research underpinning the index finds the spikes in global uncertainty tend to precede the weaker output of slower growth as companies delay investment and hiring. Quantum fears have also been a persistent background narrative since October 2025, according to Nikolic, whatever you pronounce his name, Nikolic. I guess that's how you spell Nico Leak. All right, but he said that the quantum fear spikes alongside the price drops, not independently. Bitcoin quantum. Really? You're going to do that to me? Okay. Bitcoin quantum fear spikes alongside the price drops, not independently. Bitcoin quantum searches peaked in November 2025 and have been falling steadily since, according to Google Trends. If you guys have been catching my show, we've also talked about how the devs, Bitcoin devs, have already put in system in place to defend us from the quantum fears in the near future. Between 5 and 10 years, we're probably going to see the like of that occur. And as of right now, there's only anyone holding a OG wallet with those older wallets are going to be of course up to grabs. I mean, we've been talking about this since I think beginning of last year about how it could have already happened. We could have quantum computing right now, just slowly starting to sell off these OG wallets, right? Because we saw a bunch of old OG wallets last year start to sell off in the middle of the year. Zero search trend is likely a composite of the price crash fear plus quantum existential fear. Oh my god, I cannot read today. Plus Mike McGlone style macro doom, all converging in the same window. All right. So that's what they're feeling right now overall on the normie trends. Yeah, I like this particular one though. Bitcoin's going to zero. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, in your dreams, Mike McGlone. All right, what else we got? Anything else going on here? Banks can't seem to service crypto even as it goes mainstream. We can take a look and see what's going on with that. Dash is back in the headlines too. Dash Evolution Chain integrates with Zcash Orchard Privacy Pool. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the banks. Across the globe, it remains common for crypto users to have their bank accounts frozen and transfers blocked. That's why. Why would you want them to hold your crypto? Why wouldn't you just want to have your own cold storage device and be your own bank, like I have been for the last 5 to 6 years? Even as institutional adoption rises, Panos Makras, co-founder and CEO of the blockchain fintech Andos Labs, began dealing with the crypto in Greece since late 2010s. Most Greek banks didn't allow transfers to crypto exchanges back then. Makras experienced blocked card payments until one of the bank finally permitted his transfers. But first he was questioned to ensure he understood he was interacting with a risky counterparty. Jeez. Makras told the Cointelegraph that the early rejections are symptomatic of how banks treat digital assets as inherently high risk. That label often led to the account closures of sudden freezes without explanation, ultimately pushing the businesses to rely solely on on-chain tools and payment rails. This was an attack that mostly happened and occurred back in like 22, 23 in recent memory. 22 to 24. Since 2025, it's been a little bit less. In the States at least, but I remember Chase Bank and stuff like just cutting off users who were interacting with any crypto funds through exchanges back in those days. I tried to send money from exchange to Revolut and they froze my account in 3 weeks. They had no access to my funds during that time. All right, so this is a bit of a history piece, it looks like, and more of an opinion. I was hoping to see some sort of response from the banks. When banks close doors, users move on chain. Obviously, yeah, we know where the future's going. And the banks are not going to like it. We'll see if they're going to be able to compromise with the crypto companies. And we actually talked about this last night on the Patreon Live. You guys were there. We do one, of course, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights after the live stream is over. And last night we were talking about this. I think it was Andy who mentioned it, about how he believes the compromise is going to be about 18 months for them to get on the rails, and crypto exchanges will not be offering yield and for that period of time. So about 18 months. All right. So so happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. All right, let's see. Anything else going on in the chat? Let's check back in Bitcoin and then see if there's anything else breaking in the news. It's kind of slow today, guys. Kind of slow. This whole week's been slow. What am I kidding? Everything's in the red. Everything's in the red. Maybe want to take advantage of this time period. And DC a little bit today, guys. A little bit. A little bit. All right. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. What is Kite's short potential? Says Banana Republic. Everything short potential right now is hold on, wait and see mode. I'm telling you, everything is going to be, of course, following the backdrop of Bitcoin. Wait and see mode. I repeat, wait and see mode. Look, everything's in the red. Wait and see mode. You don't want to be looking at any particular coins. Just look at Bitcoin for the upswing. If we do get one. Sui ain't doing shit. Yes, is what it's doing is providing you with an opportunity to buy under, what is it at now? Is it 90? Guys, I'll buy some. It's at 90. Oh, it's almost under 90. Let's go. Let's go. Good time to buy. I'll be picking up some of this today. If it's still under or around under 90, it did break 89. Ooh, it did break 89. So it's definitely doing the thing for you if you want to buy a little bit today. You can buy about, I'm probably going to like $25 of it. I'm broke. I'm broke. But yeah, I'll probably throw like $25 at it. Is that a Supra? Says Cody Bakula. That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying about that. AWE project seemed like a similar sort of project. Okay, I'm buying Fart Coin today, says Crypto Quint. Means make the world go around. Oh my God, crazy monkey in the chat. Booker Glider says, but I own Myriad. I do, but I mean, I'm still, yeah. I'm still holding the fucking thing. That will be the most I ever lost in crypto when I do actually sell it. Yes, 100%. Booger Glider. Backholders Anonymous says, Booger Glider, what do you hold? Good question for, yes, Booger. What do you hold? What do you hold? Mostly ZBEC. Solid project, of course, there. Trading right now, says Booger Glider, longed it just above 89 cents, it looks like, on SWI. You're talking about SWI, I'm assuming. Just above the 89 cent territory. That's a risky one. Hopefully you got your stop loss in check, of course. I'm pretty sure you do. You seem to be on it, of course. Booger. All right. Let's get back to Bitcoin. 66,300. Just kind of chilling, man. I don't think it's going to do much today. Again, we got to get through Friday. If anything, by the trading session, we're probably going to see the likes of 65, right? Retested again. The lows of 62 and 63 are still in the cards, right? Down here, still in the cards. If they do want to smash through that pillow. That's what we see in the order books today. There is a clear path, though, to get us at least back to 67, and the 68K is a huge setup right now for the bears and for resistance. We need a big player to come in to get us back above 68 right now. Could happen tomorrow. It could still happen tomorrow, though, if we do get nothing has changed rolling on the tariffs. A little bit of a bounce tomorrow. And if we get anything positive news with Iran, maybe you'll see a bit of a rally. Also, yeah, same sort of thing, too, with the opposite. I mean, we could see initial sell-off for Bitcoin if we do go to war with them, start throwing on those peace bombs, right? We could see an initial sell-off for Bitcoin, but also an unintended rally to the upside a little bit later, like we saw before, when we dropped those peace bombs the last time. And the last time we had the protests over in Iran, everyone was, of course, running away from their failing fiat currency. All right. What else we have here? Good morning, Milk Money in the house. How's it going, Milk? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you as well, Milk Money. All right. Let's get back to some crypto news. Any other headlines happening in TradFi as well? Walmart still outlook reflects uneven state of the U.S. economy. What do you got to say about this?
With Amazon.com, like just about anything, it seems like. Is that still a growth story for them?
Yeah, I think they said something like a third. They've seen a huge amount of shoppers are now actually interacting with their AI.
Oh boy.
Their AI assistant on
their built into ChatGPT and stuff. Yeah,
really helping people make shopping decisions faster. They're seeing an increasing spend from customers who interact with the AI shopping assistant, they said, which...
You're going to see an increase in spend in Walmart in general just because people can't afford anything from anywhere else. Yeah. Jesus. All right, let's take a look at CNBC. They're on break, and let's get back to crypto news. How about crypto Twitter? Anything breaking that is newsworthy over on crypto Twitter? Let's find out. Unvetted, doom scrolling over on crypto Twitter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, guys, in the buttons down below. Oh, God. NVIDIA making $1 billion per day because of this shit. Yep. Let's see. Breaking: China's autonomous killer robots are on track to serve its military on the battlefield within 2 years, setting course for a new age of AI-powered warfare. One expert called the greatest danger of survival of humankind. This is the second day in a row we've actually found these video clips of them setting up and testing these robots. This literally looks like Chappie. This literally looks like Chappie. Yep. That's where we're at, guys. If you guys aren't familiar with Chappie, happy Chappie. It's one of my favorite movies from, I think it was like the 2010s. Chappie movie. There's the trailer. 2015. Damn, it's been 10 years since this movie came out. Over 10 years. The future of warfare. Yeah, and it was based in the South Africa. One of my favorite movies of all time. You know what? I'm gonna add that to the list at some point. It is my birthday this weekend, so we are gonna be hanging out watching a movie on Saturday as well, Saturday night. Friday night's gonna be a doozy. That's my birthday, guys. My birthday. All right. Let's get back to crypto news. Anything else going on? Bitcoin's dead, guys. Don't forget, Bitcoin's dead. Oh my God. It does look like Chappie, man. It's nuts. Only 10 years ago that movie came out. Puts big banks on blast. Live on air. Why can't people move their own money after 5 p.m.? Right here on TV, he ripped apart the ancient financial system. Raw, unscripted, zero apologies. The moment says it all. When did this happen?
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
I don't remember this.
All right, David, that's for you. Thanks.
All right. You say anything else? You're just gonna sign it. Oh my God.
Group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
The world capital of crypto.
Absolutely.
All right. That's pretty much a nothing burger. Thank you for nothing, Bitcoin Pulse X. Nothing burger. Federal Reserve admits the new Cauchy is a better forecaster than a professional economist. Damn. Look no further than prediction markets for the real, of course, predictions. Breaking: CME Gap Group to launch 24/7 crypto futures and options trading starting May 29th. With this, fills the gaps. Bitcoin and Ethereum will no longer happen. The gaps formed in Bitcoin and Ethereum will no longer happen with this. Wow, really? Damn. That's actually bullish news, actually. That's actually a little bit of bullish news. No longer will we be looking at these, gap, there's a gap at 83. We got to come back up there to fill that gap. Yeah, no more of that. Laura Trump says her father-in-law's speech is ready about extraterrestrial life, is waiting for the right moment to deliver it. That's 2026 for you. If aliens are confirmed, I think we can all call it a day. Yeah, it's coming. Still loading. I think there's an 11% chance we're going to get that this year, though, according to Polymarket. Oh God, more alien stuff. Oh God. All right. This costs about 10 cents to produce. Hollywood is so effing cooked. Yes, they are. They are freaking cooked.
What are you, stupid?
Max Payne zone just triggered. Bitcoin short-term Sharp ratio is printing around negative 38, a level which was seen at a major crypto bottoms since 2015, 2019, and late 2025. And of course, I gave you guys the psychology perspective on this with the Bitcoin is dead searches, of course, getting all-time highs since, of course, the last bear market bottom and to where we are now. Each time it's felt terrible. Each time it marked an exhaustion and not the start of the new collapse. It was the beginning of the uptrend. Yes. All right. Just in the CME group to launch 24/7 crypto futures and options trading in May 29th. And yeah, that was what we just read earlier, coming from Bitcoin Magazine as well. I'm a huge proponent of Bitcoin. I think it's going to hit 1 million. I've never been more bullish. Michael Saylor, of course, sharing Eric Trump's quote. If you guys missed it yesterday, this is what he said.
Asset classes. I mean, go back 2 years. Bitcoin was at what, 16,000? You know, where is it at right now? 70.
More than 2 years.
Right? I mean, if you look at the last 10 years, Bitcoin has gone up 70% a year on average, year over year for the last decade. Name an asset class that has performed better than Bitcoin. And now, obviously, you have lots of volatility. If you don't want volatility, go invest in some muni. Go have a great time. Go invest in some treasury. You're going to have volatility with something that has tremendous upside. But I've never been more bullish on Bitcoin in my life. I've never been more bullish on cryptocurrency in my life. You look at what every one of the big financial institutions in the country is doing, whether it be Fidelity, whether it be Charles Schwab, whether it be JP Morgan, whether it be BlackRock, right? Goldman's here. Yeah, I mean, go down the list. Every single one of them are adopting cryptocurrencies. They're willing to treasury cryptocurrencies. They're putting their private wealth clients into cryptocurrencies. Before they were telling them to put exactly 0 into cryptocurrency. Then it was 2%. Now all of a sudden it's 5-6%, and that number keeps on climbing. It is the asset class of this generation. It's what every person under the age of 50 is into and loves, and we're just getting started. We're on the 1 yard.
There we go. There we go. That was, of course, the clip from yesterday. Elon Musk says, in case you missed it the first time around, the most likely outcome is AI and robots make everyone wealthy. How can that work? When it's still player versus player environment. There's still going to be poor people. But he's still calling for the universal high income, not basic income, high income. Yeah, what an idiot. By this, I mean that people have access to everything from medical care and superhuman to games, and are far more than what exists today. We do need to make sure that AI cares deeply about truth and beauty for this to be probable future. All right, we'll see. I have a love-hate relationship with Elon. The first Bitcoin collateralized ABS is here. Survives market stress test. Ledin has sold 188 million in Jesus, I can't speak today. Securitized bonds backed by Bitcoin-linked loans, marking the first transaction of its kind in the asset-backed securities market. Notably, while the deal is still being marketed, around roughly 25% of the underlying loan pool was forced into liquidation as Bitcoin moved. The structure performed exactly as designed. The zero principal losses, no S&P downgrade, and the transaction still successfully closing. Seeing these products stress tests in real-time actual market conditions rather than theoretical models may be the strongest signal yet that Bitcoin-backed credit markets are maturing. And Ledin, of course, is one of the biggest companies you can go to get a loan on your Bitcoin. That's right, a loan on your Bitcoin. It's a good one too, from what I've heard over the past few years. Big warning, the first major domino has fallen. Today, Blue Owl Capital announces permanently halting redemptions with Blue Owl Capital Corporation 2, OBDC, 1.7 billion private credit fund aimed at retail investors. And this is not a small thing. Blue Owl Capital is a major alternative asset manager with $307 billion in assets under management. The reason behind this permanently halting redemptions for Blue Owl Capital is a managed liquidity mismatch caused by a surge in withdrawal requests. But this isn't the issue. But isn't this the issue related to Blue Owl only? No, it's not. It's not certainly the case. Blue Owl's to move to permanently restrict redemptions is signaling a broader stress in the $3 trillion private credit market. There are a few warning signs. Roughly 40% of the direct lending companies are generating negative free operating cash flow. 30% of the companies with debt maturing before 2027 have negative EBITDA. I'm not sure what the hell that is, making them extremely difficult to refinance. Default rates for the middle market, the borrowers have reached 4.5% and are only rising. Downgrades have outpaced upgrades for 7 consecutive quarters. If the stress test continues, the private credit market will feel its first impact. Small businesses for whom the credit markets is a critical funding source. Additionally, it'll cause refinancing to go up and will result in more defaults, which will, of course, create a vicious cycle. Starting to sound like 2023 or maybe even worse, 2008 all over again. The only way to stop this is by lowering interest rates and providing liquidity for the economy. This is probably why the Fed pumped $18 billion into the economy overnight. That was, it was on Tuesday night, I believe, as more entities are experiencing a liquidity crunch. But this amount is too small to stop the stress of the private credit market. The Fed would have to go full down this year, or the dominoes will continue to fall. Ooh, we might start to see this tick up for the odds of a rate cut in March if more of the dominoes continue to fall. Don't forget, we also have the first bank collapse this year with Chicago Mercantile, which is not too far away from the studio. People, of course, thwarting Michael Bay for competition in the extra Transformer movie. One guy did this in a day. Oh my God, and there's so many classic Transformers here. Love it. Where's my boy Grimlock? There he is. Awesome. Imagine what a team could do with a modest budget. Yeah, a modest budget. Pretty cool stuff, man. It's huge, and the detail is staggering too. Love it. Get my Dinobots going, man. All right. What can I say? I'm a freaking otaku. Okay. All right. Moving on. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says that there's a 90% chance Clarity Act clears by April. And that was not the only mention we had of this yesterday. Brian Armstrong also said the same thing as well. He believes it'll happen by April. So guys, it's still in our cards. March, April has been my target since the end of last year. All right. Bill McDonald's years ago illustrated 7 types of aliens. Oh boy. Oh god. Okay. I think I'm done with this, guys. I think we pretty much exhausted it. I'm going to take a look at some of the headlines and look at traditional markets one more time for the news, and then we're going to call it a day. Looks like Bloomberg right now. All right, global autos and industrials analysts we're talking right now, Paul Sweeney and him. Let's see what else is going on over here. CNBC. Treasury yields edge higher. We can take a look over here briefly.
Because of the incremental signs of economic acceleration that we've been expecting and that the market has started to price. From that perspective, the key risk is that we have to start doubting that growth outlook. So we're watching the data. So far, so good, but we're keeping a close eye.
Ben, as always, our thanks. Good to see you.
Thanks.
I mean, who would have thought if we got all these tariffs that we would see record margins, a year later? There was a lot of worry about it.
We're also peeling back some tariffs too, which is part of the equation.
Part of it,
yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
Jake Estate comes in with a $2 super chat. Alien pirates are coming for your booty. Oh my God, Jake, what the hell? They're coming. Please don't. Jeez. Looks like Walmart's finally coming back. They're recovering after the report with the new CEO has been established. Looks like you guys in the chat also talking about drinking this weekend. It's my birthday, so this Friday we're definitely going to be hanging out and having a long night and a good drink. And then Glitter Glider also says to the occasion, Otaku, what's your favorite alcohol and brand? I really love whiskey. And I don't have a particular favorite. I do have a particular flavor though. I do love cherry whiskey. It's my favorite. I've tried pretty much everything I can get my hands on, in terms of brand. If I had to pick a favorite, there's one that's not too far away. I had it, what was it? It's like a Michigan. I forget the name of it. It's like a Michigan branded whiskey that's really good. I forget. It's named after a city. I forget the name of it. But yeah, there's a lot of different brands. I do like Jimmy Beam's Red Stag. That's obviously a cherry flavored whiskey. Some grenadine with Jack Daniels, one of my favorites as well. There's so many. I think there's is it a Canadian one called Roadkill? They have a cherry whiskey that's really good. I got some favorites. Oh, there was one. It's in like a turpentine can. It looks like a bottle of, a jar or a bottle of mineral spirits, and it's called like Stillerman's or something like that. That one's freaking amazing if I can ever find that again. That's probably one of my favorites too. Yeah, there you go, Booger Glider, Traverse City. That's the one. Holy crap, that's amazing. You got that. Wow. Let's go, Booger Glider. Pax Stackham says, LOL, it's Jake the Snake. Take me to your guac. Take me to your booty. Oh my God. Otaku loves Mad Dog. Ooh, that one's a good one too. Yeah, Mad Dog's a good one too. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can find today. If I get out there today. It's probably gonna be Friday. How am I kidding? It's probably going to end up being Friday. I'm going to be busy today. I'm actually going to be trying to, in about an hour, I'm going to try to do a live stream to play a game with Scrubs. So I got to get this wrapped up too. I'm going to be playing off the grid today. Hopefully, if my computer does not crash. The last time I tried to set it up, it crashed. So we'll see. Looks like the TradFi is pretty much coming down. Overall, Bitcoin is still hanging out at 66,000. And any other headlines that are interesting? Let's just double check real quick. I don't like missing a beat. Bitcoin news. Let's find out. Bitcoin stagnates as Satoshi freeze debates collides with the Middle East war drums. Yeah, pretty much. It's between tomorrow's outcome with the tariffs, which is going to be a nothing burger, and the weekend jitters for the Iran war effort, I guess. Yeah, that's what we have coming up, guys. That's what we got coming up. Terrific. Again, 2 weeks of sideways chop on Bitcoin. A little bit downward though on this week's though. But we did recover last weekend too. I mean, last week we did have a lower low than we have right now. We tested 65 flat last week, right? This was on Thursday, a week ago from today. So even if we're looking at the weekly, we're still putting in a higher low right now if we do not sell back below 65K, if we do not break the trend, the overall trend, of course, you're reading your friend. Sideways price action for 2 weeks usually, of course, gives us a governed level of support. And of course, we can move a little bit higher next week if we continue this in succession. All right. So again, that's just my 2 sats on the overall move we have right now. I've been screaming this from the rooftop since, of course, the 2-5 event. The 2-5 event. All we gotta do is go 2 weeks, guys. Just 2 weeks. We're almost there. We're almost there. I'm very patient, guys. If you haven't noticed, I've been very patient, freaking guy. All right. I've been in this market for 6 years. It comes with the territory, right? Comes with the territory. All right. So anyway, other than that, guys, there's nothing really going on right now. Everything, of course, is just kind of waiting for some of these catalysts to play out. What do you call them? Catalysts? Goalposts, really? Right? Goalposts. Yeah. That's what we're waiting for. So don't hodl. HODL be thy name. Don't be catching the falling knife. I'm playing with Jake the Snake there. Don't HODL the falling knife. Jake the Snake also calling for, he was actually bullish today. He called for a 68 last night. So we'll see if we can at least retouch or reclaim our 68 by the end of the week. My guess is probably not until the weekend. If we do see the weekend jitters, we could see, of course, a new low for Bitcoin on the on the month, which would suck, of course, overall. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I gotta set up for the other live stream if I can get that going today. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all again tonight. Happy Thursday, and I'll see you all again soon. Yes.
When will then be now? Soon.
Yes. Later.
Fly me to the moon, let me trade among the stars. Let me see what freedom's like without money and gold bars. In other words, hold my keys. Oh! In other words, let's make history. Oh, you my world is more wrong than let me huddle forevermore and more and more and more and more. I'm on board. Hollywood shop in the door. In other words, I choose you. In other words, I love you.
Just do it, Shia LaBeouf, yeah. Samuel L. Adams. What? It'll get you drunk. You can. You guys. Okay. All right. At some point, I do gotta go and pick up some bottles. But anyway, I will see you guys all again tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night. It looks like Monty Python is going to be coming back for the final vote. I got to get one more in at least before we decide the movie on Friday. So that'll be determined probably tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you all again soon. Later. My chart's a mess.
Watch the cash burn, land fade. A new world rises, we've made the trade. The robots are rising, AI's taking the crown. But we're the ones that won't back down.
Bet.